Welcome to this week's Overwatch news without the bullshit. Let's get started. We start off with a new competitive 6 vs 6 elimination mode that most players didn't even notice was added. Players can now enjoy another source of easy competitive points without the need to commit to the regular competitive mode. However, almost everything worth mentioning this week has hit the PTR. Genji's deflect hitbox size has been decreased. The developers assure players that he will still be fully protected, however he will no longer have fucking Slenderman arms every time he hits the E key. Junkrat has been slightly nerfed, with his primary fire projectiles becoming slightly smaller and his rip-tire speed being marginally reduced. This is intended to make his projectiles more aim intensive and to provide more counterplay for his ultimate. Lucio has received a buff, as he is now able to much more easily wall ride across unbalanced surfaces, can wall ride around corners, and can land back on the same wall after leaping off of it. Most players will find Lucio to be much more consistent. However, some Lucio mains have stated that this has slightly reduced his momentum. It is also worth mentioning that his pushback ability no longer consumes ammo. Tracer also receives her first ever balance change since launch, with her pulse bomb maximum damage being decreased from 400 to 300. This is intended to make Tracer less effective against tank heroes. However, by far the biggest hero changes to Hanzo. His projectile speed has been increased from 85 to 100, making his arrows easier to hit. His sonic arrow ability has also been drastically altered, with the cooldown being decreased from 20 seconds to 12 seconds. The duration however has been reduced from 10 to 6 seconds, and the radius has been reduced from 10 to 7 meters. Hanzo's scatter arrow has also fucked off in favor of a new ability called Storm Arrows. This new ability allows Hanzo to rapidly fire up to 6 arrows in rapid succession. This is intended to make Hanzo more consistent and feel better to play against. He also receives a lunge ability that allows him to quickly reposition himself. The PTR also shows off the new map, Rialto, that you'll recognize from the Retribution PvE mode. The map itself is once again a slick addition to the current lineup, and it will be interesting to see how players adapt to this new environment. Horizon Lunar Colony was also briefly changed in the PTR before being taken down for public display. However, luckily this recording was taken before it was patched, and as we can see, the changes are going to make for a very different dynamic when attacking the second point. None of these changes have been confirmed, however a link to the original video and all the discussed patch notes will be in the description. In other news, Symmetra is still far from being reworked, and XQC plans to start a talk show